Hi guys, welcome to topic 3. In this topic we're going to be seeing a little bit more ahead, which is basically going to include the lasso tool, the wand tool, the crop as well as the eyedropper. So let's see how that works. Now in the lasso tool guys, when I select the lasso tool, I can always do a right click on top of it and you will see lasso, poly lasso and magnetic lasso. Lasso is like a string. And the names as they suggest, so we have lasso tool, which is going to be just a completely non-uniform string. The poly lasso will be a straight line string, and the magnetic lasso will be like a magnetic string. Alright, so let's see how these work. So we'll begin with the lasso tool. Again, all of these are selection areas. So all of these are going to create selections just like the marquee tool. Except now, when I make the selection with the lasso, you'll see what I mean by non-uniform. It's going to be completely erratic like a sketch. And you can see how I've kind of just created this random portion. So I can always press Ctrl D if I'm not happy with it, and then I can go ahead and create a new one. Let's say something like this. Alright, so as you guys can see, I've kind of created this over here. Now I'm going to change the colors from here, so I'll just quickly click on the gray and I can just select blue. And I'll select the yellow and I can just shift it to red. So we have two different colors here. Now once I've created this, I can just go ahead and create a new layer, and I can easily press Ctrl and backspace to fill in the red color. Ctrl backspace would fill the background color and Alt backspace would fill the foreground color. I hope you guys have understood that by now. Then after I'm done filling, I can press Ctrl D, so I'm deselected, and I can now go ahead with another selection. So let's just right click on this and select the poly lasso tool over here. So the poly lasso tool is going to act like straight lines. Basically, as you can see, it gives me complete straight lines like this. But again, these are not up and down or right and left straight. They are just straight in any direction. I can press shift to make it go up and down straight and left and right straight. So that's going to basically give me this very good change in it. So I can just easily go ahead and select all of this like this. And once I've selected this much area, I can create a new layer and I can just easily fill in blue color with Alt backspace. And I'll press Ctrl D. So once I've created this much, I can double click on the name again and I can just type in blue. Now, before you guys go ahead, I just want to make you understand that we are double clicking on the name. By mistake, if you double click on the side, you'll open up something called as layer style, which we're going to get into later. But if that does open up, just close it, and so we can just go ahead. Double click on this and I'll just type in red. So now I've got these 4 different colors of the 4 different shapes. Now we'll talk about magnetic lasso tool in a little while, but before that, let me make you understand what the wand tool does. So guys, the wand tool, as you can see over here, is not going to work, alright, as long as no layer is selected. So we need some layer. So let's say I create a selector layer like this. Now the wand tool basically is a selection tool, a completely proper selection tool. It's basically a single click selection. And make sure it's wand. If you right click, there is something called as quick selection tool as well. So make sure you have it on the magic wand. This is basically going to let us select a certain area. So you can see it's the yellow color, or the yellow layer has been selected over here. So I can actually click on the yellow spaces to select the yellow portions which I want. Alright. And obviously I can press Ctrl D and I can switch to red and I can select the red portion like this. Then again Ctrl D. But if I try selecting something else which is not on that layer, so right now red only includes this, but let's say I want to select this box. So you'll see that that box is definitely not selected. Neither is the red color selected, but everything else is selected. The entire sheet is selected except for the red color. So that's basically what will happen if you try to select something off the layer which is selected over here. Alright, now I'll press Ctrl D. Now we want to use our entire space or an entire sheet as one. What I mean is, let's assume yellow, red, blue and gray. It does not matter which layer I am on. Let's say I'm on the gray, but I want to select this yellow box. So how do I do that? I will have to shift to yellow, but it's a little tedious because let's say we have around 20 or 25 layers. So it becomes difficult to actually keep switching between layers, right? So we can easily switch on sample all layers over here. This will come under the wand tool. Now it does not matter which layer I am on. I can select whatever I want as such. So that's quite easy, right? Also, let's say that our red layer over here or our gray layer over here is going to overlap this much of the yellow portion. Alright, now I select the wand tool and I want to select this yellow portion. Alright, so even if I'm on the yellow layer and I try selecting the yellow portion, only this much portion gets selected. That's because the sample or layers is switched on. If the sample or layers is switched off, of course I need to be on the particular layer, but it will select the whole thing. It will not leave that much portion out. So as you guys would have understood by now, that sample or layers basically acts as if all the layers are one, and then it lets you select. So that's basically how the sample or layers and the wand tool work. Also how the lasso and the poly lasso tool work. Now let's talk about the crop as well as the eyedropper, but we'll do that in the next topic. Till then, I want you guys to finish off this much, understand the wand and the lasso and the marquee and the move tool, and then we'll go ahead to the crop tool, the eyedropper tool, as well as the magnetic lasso. I'll see you guys in the next topic. Take care.